The message came at noon, when the sun was bright and the streets were busy. Every screen turned black, then showed the same silver symbol, a circle made of stars. A voice spoke in calm, cold English. "People of Earth, kneel, obey the Galactic, accord, or be destroyed." He watched from the window of a tall office building. His name was Amir. He was a quiet man who fixed computers and carried a small toolkit everywhere. He did not look like a hero. He did not feel like one, but his hands shook as he watched the symbol rotate like an eye in the sky. Cars stopped, vendors froze, children went silent. The voice continued, "You have 7 days to submit. Lay down your weapons, prepare tribute. Your world will be spared. If you accept order." Amir's phone buzzed. It was a message from his sister, Sana. "Come home now, please." He typed back, "I'm coming." Then the building lights flickered and died. The screens stayed bright with the silver symbol, as if it fed on the fear itself. In the hallway, people argued. "It's a prank." "No, it's real. Look outside." 2 men pulled open the fire door. On the street below, a shadow moved across the sky. It was not a plane. It was too smooth, too silent. It looked like a coin gliding through water, leaving ripples in the clouds. Amir's boss grabbed his arm. "The city network is down. Can you restore it?" "I can try," Amir said. His voice sounded small. On the stairwell, he met an old janitor named Rao, who was always friendly and always ignored. Today, Rao held a broom like a spear. "You heard the voice," Rao said softly. "They want us on our knees." Amir nodded. Rao's eyes were wet but steady. "Long ago, on a border I do not name, I learned one thing. Men who want you to kneel never stop there." Amir did not have an answer. They reached the server room. The air hummed with scared breaths and hot dust. Amir opened the cabinet and began to work. He felt slow and clumsy. His hands wanted to run, but his brain forced them to stay. He checked power. He checked cables. He listened for the faint click that meant life. Then the voice returned, but closer, inside the room, inside the building, slipping through every speaker and wire like a ghost. "People of Earth," it said, "begin your kneeling practice. Bow your heads, accept peace." A woman in a lab coat, who must have been visiting some floor above, swore under her breath. "Peace," she said, "without choice is not peace." Rao looked at Amir. "Son," he said, "what do you need?" "Time," Amir said, "and quiet." They gave him both. He found a path through a backup line. He forced the network to route around the dead core. He tried 3 passwords, then a 4th. He told himself a simple truth. Fear was a loud song, but he could work through it if he kept the beat slow. The office screens blinked to life, not to the alien symbol, but to a shaky local news feed. A reporter stood on a rooftop, hair slapping, in the wind. "We're receiving reports of a large object over the harbor," she said. It's hovering. Government leaders are meeting underground. Military jets have been scrambled." Rao smiled at Amir. "Good," he said. "Now we can choose what we hear." The building shook. Papers lifted off desks. The windows hummed like drums. People screamed, ducked, prayed. A deep, low tone rolled through the city, like the world was a bell and someone had struck it. Amir's phone buzzed again. Another message, but this one was not from his sister. It was a text from an unknown number. "If you can see this, reply, yes." He hesitated. It could be a scam. It could be a trap. Then he remembered the server still alive under his hands because he had taken a chance. He typed, "Yes." A second later, a new chat opened. "Civil Defense Volunteer Network," it read. "We need eyes on the harbor. Can you stream?" Amir thought of Sana, alone at home. He swallowed. "I can stream from the roof," he typed. "But I need someone to check on my sister." Sent her address. The reply came fast. We'll send someone. Please go. He turned to Rao. I need the roof. Rao lifted his broom. Then I am your guard. They climbed 28 floors. The stairs felt endless. In the dark landings, people whispered their fears. What if we bow and they hurt us anyway? What if we fight and they burn us? Amir did not speak. He only climbed. On the roof, the wind tore at their clothes. The object over the harbour looked close now. It was huge, the size of a stadium, with a surface like polished stone. It gave off no smoke, no fire. It simply hung there, patient and terrible. Around it, fighter jets drew white lines in the sky, like scratches on glass. Amir started the stream. This is Amir, he said, trying to keep his voice calm. I can see the object, it's silent. He focused the camera. The image stabilized. He zoomed in. Tiny shapes moved along the hull, machines like insects. Rao stood beside him, face hard. They think we will kneel, he said. They do not know us. The calm voice returned, louder, as if it stood beside their ears. Peoples of Earth, observe. A panel on the side of the craft opened. A beam of pale light fell onto the water. The sea turned to glass where the light touched, smooth as a frozen lake. Then the light lifted. A small boat, trapped in the glass, cracked and tilted. People on nearby rooftops screamed. Amir's camera shook. He forced himself to steady it. They're showing power, he said into the stream. They're showing what they can do. A new voice cut in, breathless. Human, Amir, this is the volunteer hub. Your sister is safe. A neighbor brought her to a shelter. She says to tell you not to do anything stupid. Amir almost laughed. Relief tasted like rain. Tell her I love her, he said. Copy. Also, keep filming. We're sharing your stream across the city. Across many cities, actually. Many cities. Yes, there are objects over every major harbor, but listen, this next part is important. Do you see a second glow on the hull near the edge? Amir zoomed. There was a faint ring hidden in the shadow. I see it. That's not theirs, the voice said. That's ours. Before Amir could ask, the ring flared. A thin spear of light shot from a building far below, a rooftop hidden in plain sight. It lanced the alien hull at the ring's center. The hull rippled. The silent ship spoke for the first time. Not a voice, but a sound like ice cracking across a lake. Rao's eyes flashed. We hit it, he said. The calm alien voice changed. It did not sound calm now. Unauthorized action detected, it said. Cease hostilities. On the stream, the volunteer spoke quickly. This is your twist, Amir. You're looking at a trap we set, not a trap they set. That ring is a mirror we built from their own signal. They tried to sit above us like a god. We turned their throne into a target. Amir's mouth went dry. So we're not just filming, we're part of it. You always were, the voice said. The alien ship tried to move. The water beneath it broke from glass to waves. Then the spear of light struck again, deeper this time. The hull's smooth surface cracked like brittle bone. A chunk fell, splashing into the harbor with a sound like thunder. The ship lurched, still up, still strong, but wounded. All across the city, people shouted. Some cried, some laughed, some dropped to their knees, but not to pray to the ship, to kiss the ground, to thank the earth that held them. The alien voice stuttered. Earth will comply. Earth will... It cut off. Silence fell for one long breath. Then the sky filled with the roar of jets and the distant echo of cheers that rolled from block to block like a wave. Rao leaned on his broom, shaking with a strange joy. Do you hear that? He asked. That is a people deciding. Amir lowered the camera. His hands were still shaking, but not from fear. We should go, he said. There will be more. They won't stop. No, Rao said. They won't. But they are not the only ones with lessons to teach. Amir's Phone buzzed one more time. A message from Sana. "I'm safe. I saw your stream. I'm proud of you. Don't kneel. Come home." He looked at the broken sky, at the wounded ship, at the city that had found its voice. He felt small, but not alone. He said softly, to no one and to everyone, "We don't kneel." And the wind, as if it had been waiting to answer, carried the words across the rooftops, down the streets, and out over the trembling sea. The night after the first strike was restless. Cities did not sleep, streets buzzed with whispers, radios crackled with half-truths, and families locked their doors but kept their eyes on the sky. No one trusted the silence above. Everyone waited for the alien voice to return, but it did not. Instead, the darkness carried the hum of ships moving far out in orbit, circling like wolves that had tasted blood and were not finished. Amir sat on the roof again, this time with Rao and a handful of others. The volunteer hub kept his phone alive with messages. "Stay ready," they told him. "Your stream gave people courage." He did not feel like a hero. His hands still shook from what he had seen. Sana's last message echoed in his head. "Don't kneel, come home." Rao leaned on his broom, though by now everyone treated it less like a tool and more like a spear of memory. He spoke low, as if the night might be listening. "They will not forgive what we did. They will return. Harder. They already are," said a woman with a soldier's stance. She wore no uniform, only a jacket too big for her shoulders, but her voice was sharp. "I served once. I know the rhythm. This silence is not peace. It is the space before the hammer." Before Amir could answer, the sky lit up with streaks of fire. People gasped. Jets were climbing fast, their engines roaring. Then behind them, new shadows entered the atmosphere. Sleek alien crafts, smaller than the mothership, shaped like knives. They cut through the clouds with eerie precision. "Attack drones," the woman muttered. "They're sending hounds to finish what they started." The city's alarms wailed. Windows rattled. Families rushed into basements, clutching children. But above, the jets fought bravely. Amir's camera shook as he streamed the battle. Blue light from the alien weapons sliced the night, turning towers into glowing scars. One jet exploded in a flash, spiraling into the river below. "They're winning," Amir whispered, dread sinking. "No," Rouse said, his eyes bright. "Watch closer." On the edge of the harbour, lights blinked on rooftops. Strange new shapes rose into the sky, human machines cobbled together from stolen alien tech. They were rough, uneven, and nothing like the sleek drones they faced, but they moved fast. Amir's feed zoomed in on one of them. It was a helicopter, but its blades shimmered with an energy glow. Its rockets were tipped with stolen alien metal. The first shot struck an alien drone. Instead of bouncing off, it pierced, clean through. The drone burst into shards, raining sparks over the harbour. Cheers erupted from rooftops across the city. The woman smirked. "Our scientists are faster than they thought." The battle twisted back and forth. For every drone destroyed, a human craft was lost. But the balance was shifting. Fear had not. Broken people, it had sharpened them. Suddenly the alien voice returned, louder than before, thundering from every device. "You dare resist? You dare wound us? Then suffer consequence." The mothership, still wounded but alive, pulsed with light. From its belly a new beam grew, not a thin lance like before, but a wide, terrible glow that spread across the harbour like a second sun. The water hissed and boiled. "They'll burn the city," Amir breathed. His heart hammered. The volunteer hub broke through on his phone. "Amir, listen! That beam, it's charging from their core. If we can disrupt it, they'll lose control. But we need someone close enough to feed the data." "Close enough?" His voice cracked. "I'm not a soldier. You don't need to be. Just stream. Aim your feet at the glow and hold steady. The system will do the rest." Rao placed a hand on his shoulder. "Fear is honest, but it must not be king. Do it, son, for your sister, for all of us." Amir's legs felt weak, but he lifted the camera. He zoomed in, locking on the growing light. His breath slowed. Around him, the rooftop shook with explosions. The sky was a battlefield of streaks and fire. But in his lens, the glow filled. The frame pulsing like a living heart. The phone buzzed. "Hold it steady, steady," the hub whispered. Then a sharp tone cut through the chaos. "Got it. Breaking their charge now." On the mothership, the beam flickered. The glow sputtered and collapsed into sparks. Instead of burning the city, the weapon turned inward, frying a section of its own hull. A deep rumble followed, like thunder trapped inside metal. The drones in the sky froze, then spiraled down in confusion, as if cut from their master's command. Jets seized the chance, tearing through the scattered swarm. The woman in the jacket laughed. "You just stole their hammer." Amir lowered the camera, breathless. His chest felt like it might burst. But the victory was not silent. A new noise rose across the city. Human voices, shouting, clapping, refusing fear. For the first time, the sky felt less like a prison and more like a challenge. The alien voice returned, but weaker, cracked with static. "Earth, you cannot continue." Rao shook his broom at the sky. "We already have." Then came the twist. The phone buzzed again, but this time the message was not from the hub. It was short and chilling. "We see you, streamer. You will be first when we return." Amir froze. His throat went dry. They knew him now. His face, his voice, his rooftop, they had marked him. The woman read the message over his shoulder. "Then you'd better keep fighting," she said, "because if they come for you, they come for all of us." The mothership groaned in the distance, pulling higher into the sky, retreating for now. But everyone knew it would not leave forever. Tonight was not the end. It was the beginning. As the city lights flickered back to life, Sana's message appeared again. "I saw you. Don't give up. Don't kneel." Amir closed his eyes, the weight of both fear and hope pressing down. He whispered, "Then we fight. We all fight." And in the streets below, millions of people were already preparing, proving that Earth's answer had been given. They would never bow. The morning after the second night of chaos, the city smelled of smoke and fear. Buildings still stood, but their glass was cracked, and the streets carried black scars where fire had burned. People whispered as they lined up for water and food. Yet among the fear, a new spark lived. Humans had fought back and the aliens had bled. Amir walked through the ruins with Rao at his side. His phone never stopped buzzing with new messages from the volunteer hub. They called him the Streamer, now though he hated the name. He had only held a camera, but somehow the world had seen courage in his trembling hands. "Fame is a heavy gift," Rao muttered, as they passed a wall painted with fresh words in red. "We do not kneel." "I don't want fame," Amir whispered. "I just want Sana safe." "She is safe because you stood," Rao said, "and you will have to stand again." Before Amir could reply, his phone lit up with an urgent call. He answered, his voice shaking. "Amir," the hub officer said, fast and breathless, "we have one chance. We've discovered where the alien drones are refueling, a hidden base on the coast. If we strike it now, they will lose control of half their swarm." "Strike it?" Amir asked. "You want me to, what, film it?" "Not just film. We need your stream to guide the pilots. Their systems are blind near alien tech. Your eyes will be their eyes. Do you understand?" Amir's stomach twisted. He wanted to say no. He wanted to run to Sirna, hold her hand, and hide in some quiet corner of the earth. But then the words from the aliens came back to him. "We see you, Streamer. You will be first when we return." There was no quiet corner anymore. "Where do I go?" he asked. The instructions came fast. A truck would pick him up near the harbor in 10 minutes. Rao gripped his shoulder firmly. "If you go, I go," he said. The truck was armored, painted in patches of rust to look harmless. Inside, a handful of soldiers checked rifles and packs. Amir felt out of place, clutching only his phone and a small bag. The woman in the oversized jacket was there too, sitting in the corner with sharp eyes. She greeted him with a nod. "You're the one they're calling streamer. Don't drop that phone. Tonight, it's worth more than a rifle." The ride was silent, except for the rattle of wheels on broken streets. A siren wailed in the distance, then faded. When they reached the coast, the truck stopped near a burned pier. The soldiers led Amir to a small speedboat hidden under canvas. The sea looked dark, endless, and cold. The woman leaned close. "They won't expect us to hit first. That's our strength. We don't wait for orders from the stars. We make our own." The boat cut across the water, waves slapping its sides. Amir streamed quietly, showing the black horizon. Then a shape appeared, a cave carved into the cliffs, glowing, faintly blue inside. Strange shadows moved around it, alien drones docking, recharging, feeding like insects in a hive. The hub's voice hissed through his earpiece. "That's the place. Keep the camera steady. We're sending the strike now." A low rumble filled the sea. Jets screamed overhead, and missiles streaked toward the cave. The first explosion lit the cliffs with fire. The second made the sea jump under the boat. Alien drones shrieked with their strange metal voices, launching into the sky like angry hornets. "Hold steady!" the woman shouted. "We're not done!" Amir forced his hands not to shake. His stream showed the cave as human fire met alien. Blue light. The drones swarmed, cutting through the sky with deadly beams. One missile missed and slammed into the water, blasting waves over the boat. "Closer," Rao shouted. "They need better eyes." The pilot gunned the engine. The boat raced toward the cliffs, weaving between burning debris. A drone dipped low, its weapon charging. Amir gasped. The woman fired a stolen alien rifle, the beam slicing the drone in half. It crashed into the waves beside them, hissing like boiling oil. The cave shook as another explosion ripped its walls. Blue sparks showered. Into the sea, a deep hum echoed louder and louder. Amir zoomed in and froze. "There's something inside," he whispered into the stream. From the cave's heart, a larger shape emerged, a command drone, massive and armored, its hull glowing with strange symbols. It was the brain of the swarm. The jets fired, but their rockets bounced off harmlessly. The hub's voice cracked in panic. "Streamer, focus on that core. We need its weak points." Amir aimed the camera. His eyes darted across the strange armor. Rao grabbed his arm. "Look, there, the cracks where it joined the wall." Amir zoomed tight. The hub shouted, "Got it. Pilots, adjust." The next missile hit the crack dead center. The command drone shuddered, its glow stuttering. Then it screamed, a sound so high and sharp it made blood trickle from Amir's ear. The soldiers covered their heads, but Amir kept filming. The drone tried to rise, but another strike pierced its core. With a final burst of light, it collapsed, crashing into the cave and setting off a chain of explosions. The whole cliffside burst like a volcano, sending fire and stone into the sky. The sea rolled with the shock. The boat nearly flipped. Silence followed. The swarm above faltered, drifting without guidance. Jets tore through them like hawks through scattered pigeons. The woman lowered her rifle, smiling grimly. That was their brain. The body will wither now. Amir lowered his phone slowly. His chest heaved. Rao patted his back. "You gave them eyes, son. Without you, this strike was blind." The hub's voice came again, steadier now. "The base is gone. Half their swarm is useless. Earth has struck. First, and the galaxy will hear it." The boat turned back toward the city, riding waves glowing with burning wreckage. Amir looked at his phone. Messages flooded in, cheers, thanks, prayers, names of strangers calling him brother. Yet one new message cut through them all. It was short, written in the same cold tone as before. "You may kill drones, but you cannot kill the will of the Accord. We are coming for you, streamer. And when we do, your world will beg to kneel. Amir clenched the phone, the sea wind whipping his face. He whispered to himself, to Rao, to the soldiers, and to anyone listening through his stream, "Then let them come. We will never bow." And behind him the cliff still burned, proof that Earth had chosen its path, not surrender, but war. Saturn. News of the destroyed alien base spread faster than fire in dry grass. All over Earth, people replayed the shaky stream of Amir's phone, watching the cliffside explode and the swarm scatter like broken glass. For the first time, humanity believed, not just in survival, but in victory. In villages and cities, farmers turned their tractors into armored carriers. Mechanics pulled apart, crashed drones, and welded their metal into new weapons. Scientists shared codes and stolen blueprints across secret networks. Even children painted walls with fierce words, "We fight, we rise, we do not kneel." But with hope came rage. Too many had lost homes, families, or friends. Anger became fuel, and that fuel spread across continents. Amir sat in a hidden basement with Rao and the woman in the oversized jacket. The hum of generators shook the floor. Screens, flickered with maps of Earth, lit up in red and blue. Blue marked human strongholds, red marked alien strikes. Every hour the map changed. The hub officer's voice came through a dusty speaker. "Aliens are regrouping. Their fleets are still massive, but they're shaken. We've intercepted their signals. They call us unpredictable, dangerous." Rao chuckled bitterly. "Good, let them learn what danger feels like." The woman leaned forward. "They still control the skies. Until we ground them, this is only survival, not war." Amir's phone buzzed. A new message blinked across the screen. He expected another cold threat, but this one was stranger. "We want to talk." His heart skipped. "They're messaging me directly again." The hub officer hissed through the speaker, "Do not reply." But Amir's fingers hovered over the keyboard. What if it's more than a threat? What if it's information? The woman shook her head. "It's a trap." Rao placed a hand on Amir's shoulder. "Sometimes even traps hold truth. Ask nothing that gives them power. Ask what they fear." Amir swallowed hard and typed, "Why me?" The reply came instantly. "Because you are the face. Billions watch through your eyes. Remove the eyes, blind the herd." He typed again, his breath quick. "If I am only one man, why are you afraid?" This time, the pause was longer. Then, because one man made Earth roar, the basement fell silent. Even the generator's hum seemed to fade. The hub officer finally spoke. "They admit fear. That means we're winning. But they'll hit harder now. Be ready." Hours later, the sky answered. Sirens wailed across the city. People ran for shelters. Above, dozens of alien ships descended, smaller than the mothership but deadly, like spears falling from the stars. Their target was clear, the human stronghold at the harbor. The hub's voice boomed, "All units prepare for defense. This will be their attempt to crush our spirit." Amir grabbed his phone. "I'll stream from the roof again." The woman loaded her stolen rifle. "Then I'll cover you." Rao tightened his grip on the broom he still carried, though its wooden shaft was cracked. "And I'll stand beside you." The three climbed the narrow stairs. Outside, the city was already fire and thunder. Missiles streaked upward, alien beams carved through towers. People screamed but did not kneel. Instead, they threw stones, lit fires, raised rifles, and fought with anything they had. On the roof, Amir raised his camera. The stream showed the sky, black with ships. "They're coming," he whispered. His words carried to millions. A formation of drones swooped down. Before they could fire, hidden launchers on nearby rooftops erupted, sending human rockets up in a storm. Several drones exploded mid-air, raining debris. The crowd below roared with victory, even as more ships pushed through. The woman fired, striking a drone that strayed too close. Rao stood firm, defying the sky with nothing but his cracked broom. Amir's voice trembled, but he spoke steady into the stream. "We are still here. We will not bow. This is our world." The battle raged for hours. Humans fought with fury that shocked even themselves. They used hacked signals to jam alien weapons. They lit decoy fires to lure drones into traps. They fought not like soldiers, but like survivors who had nothing left to lose. Then came the twist. A giant alien craft, larger than the rest, hovered above the harbor. From its belly dropped something new. Not a drone, not a beam, but cages. Metal cages, crashing into the streets, bursting open. And inside them, creatures. They were not machines. They were alien soldiers, tall, armored with claws like knives. The crowd froze. The sky had always been the enemy. Now the ground shook with it. One of the creatures roared, striking down a man who stood too close. Panic rippled through the street. Amir aimed his camera at the creatures. "They're here," he gasped. "They've landed," the woman cursed under her breath. "So that's their plan, to break us face to face." Rao did not flinch. He stepped forward and raised his broom. "Then face us they shall." Gunfire cracked, stones flew, even children threw bottles at the alien soldiers. The fight turned brutal, close, desperate. But rage burned in human hearts stronger than fear. One alien soldier raised its claw toward Amir. Before it struck, Rao slammed his broom into its leg with a cry. The alien staggered. The woman fired, finishing it with a stolen beam. Amir's voice broke as he streamed, "We can fight them here too. They bleed. They can fall." The words spread across the world. Everywhere aliens had landed, people rose with knives, rifles, axes, or bare hands. Farmers cut down soldiers with scythes. Mechanics burned them with torches. Even the weakest struck blows. By dawn, the city was broken but still standing. Alien soldiers lay scattered in the streets, their ships pulled back into the sky, leaving smoke and silence. Humanity had survived again, and this time the galaxy had seen humans spill alien blood with their own hands. Amir ended the stream with a whisper. "We do not kneel, not in the sky, not on the ground, never." His phone buzzed one last time. "A message from the enemy. You think this victory is yours, but you have awakened something greater. Prepare, streamer. The Accord does not forget." Amir looked at Rao, at the woman, at the rising sun over a city scarred but alive. His fear was real, but so was his rage. He raised his camera high. "Then let the galaxy prepare too," he said, "because Earth is not done." And the voices of survivors across the city rose with his, turning ruin into defiance and fear into fire. The city still smoldered days after the alien soldiers retreated. Streets were filled with broken glass, burned cars, and walls painted with fierce words of defiance. Yet even in the ruin, there was energy. Humanity had fought on the ground and won. It was not enough to end the war, but it was enough to prove something vital. The invaders could bleed. Amir sat in the basement command room, his phone still buzzing with endless messages. He scrolled through them slowly, strangers thanking him, children sending drawings of humans defeating towering aliens, soldiers calling him the eyes of Earth. He did not feel like a hero, but he carried the weight of one. Rao entered with his cracked broom slung over his shoulder, still, refusing to trade it for a rifle. "The city breathes again," he said softly. "People walk taller, but their anger burns hotter. This fire will not go out." The woman in the oversized jacket leaned over a glowing map on the table. Blue dots pulsed where humans had scored. Victories. Red marks showed alien control. "If anger is fire," she said, "then we need steel to shape it. We've stolen scraps, but scraps will not win a war. We need their weapons, their power." Amir looked up. "How?" "Their tech is impossible." "Not impossible," the woman corrected, "just locked, and every lock has a key." The hub officer's voice burst from the old speaker. "We may have found one. A downed alien craft lies in the mountains to the north. The Accord abandoned it after our strikes disrupted their swarm. It still hums with power. If we can reach it, if we can take what's inside, we can learn how to fight them on equal ground." Rao's eyes narrowed. "Then why are we still speaking here? Send us." Hours later, Amir, Rao, the woman, and a small squad rode in silence through shattered highways. The mountains loomed dark against the sky. Snow capped their peaks, untouched by fire. But deep in the valleys, smoke curled from the wreck of something. Vast and alien, the squad moved carefully, rifles ready. Amir streamed with trembling hands, his camera catching glimpses of black metal twisted into the earth, glowing faintly with blue cracks. It looked like a fallen god, buried in rock. The woman crouched low. "Be careful. Even broken, it could still kill us." Rao touched the ground, feeling the faint vibration under the soil. "It is alive in its death, like a snake with its head cut off, still moving." Inside the wreck, corridors of strange metal stretched like veins. Lights flickered weakly, casting long shadows. Every step echoed. Amir's voice was low as he streamed. "We are inside their ship. It feels wrong, like it's watching us." The squad spread out. One soldier pressed his ear to the wall. "It's humming like a heartbeat." Deeper in, they reached a chamber filled with strange pods, glowing softly. Inside some of them, fragments of alien armor floated. In others, shards of weapons pulsed with faint energy. The woman's eyes widened. "This is it, their forge." Suddenly a sound filled the chamber, a screech like metal tearing. From the shadows, damaged drones stumbled forward, sparks falling. From their joints they were broken but not dead. "Contact!" shouted a soldier, opening fire. Blue sparks filled the chamber as bullets clashed against alien plating. The woman grabbed one of the glowing shards and aimed it like a weapon. Light erupted from its edge, slicing through a drone in half. Amir gasped. "You're using it?" "It wants to be used," she answered, her voice fierce. Rao swung his broom like a club, smashing a broken drone to the floor. Its claws raked his arm, but he gritted his teeth and slammed again until it stopped moving. The fight ended as quickly as it began. Smoke filled the chamber. The wreck groaned, as if it felt the loss of its defenders. The woman held the glowing shard high. "This is our turning point. We can study this, build with this. They will learn fear." Amir streamed it, showing the shard to the world. His voice shook, but carried strength. "We've taken their fire. It's ours now." But then came the twist. The wreck's walls lit up and the alien voice returned, not calm this time, but sharp with rage. "Thieves of Earth, you touch what you do not understand. The shard carries not power, but curse. Keep it, and it will eat you alive." The squad froze. Even the woman lowered the shard slightly. Amir whispered, "Is it true?" Rao shook his head. "They lie because they fear. If it was curse, they would not care." The woman's jaw tightened. "Fear or truth, we decide. This shard is ours." She tucked it into her pack. As they left the wreck, the ground trembled. Far above, alien ships circled, searching. The squad hurried into the trees, hearts racing. Amir streamed every step, knowing the world needed to see. At dawn, they reached a safe hideout. The shard pulsed in the woman's pack, glowing brighter in human hands than it had in alien pods. The hub officer's voice came through again. "You did it. With this, our scientists can unlock their secrets. This war changes today." Amir lowered his phone. His body ached, his mind spun with fear and hope, but his heart was steady. Rao leaned against the wall, bleeding but smiling. "The galaxy thinks we are prey," the old man said, "but now we carry their own teeth." That night, as the shard's glow lit the room, Amir whispered into his stream, We are no longer only human. We are something they have never faced before. We do not kneel, we rise. And across the world, from broken cities to hidden camps, people echoed his words, raising stolen shards, rifles, and even bare fists. For the first time, the galaxy's hunters had become the hunted. The shard pulsed on the table, glowing like a living heart. Every beat of its light filled the dark bunker with blue fire. Around it sat Amir, Rao, the woman in the oversized jacket, and a handful of tired scientists. None of them had slept. They knew the shard was more than a weapon. It was a key. But a key to what? One of the scientists adjusted his glasses and whispered, "It's broadcasting. Every time it flashes, it sends a signal, not to us, but to space." Amir's throat tightened. "So they know we have it?" "They've known since the moment you touched it," the man replied. "But here's the twist. It isn't calling for rescue. It's screaming. It's afraid." The room fell silent. Even Rao, who had always stood like a wall against fear, looked shaken. "Machines don't fear," he muttered. The scientist nodded toward the shard. "This one does." Before anyone could answer, the speaker crackled. The hub officer's voice came through, urgent. "Alien fleet moving again. They're gathering near orbit, bigger than before. This is retaliation." The woman slammed her hand on the table. "Then we strike before they do. We have their shard, their fire. It's time to speak back." Amir looked at her, then at the shard. "Speak back how?" The scientist smiled for the first time in days. "Through their own network. The shard can send messages across the stars. If we amplify it, Earth can speak to the entire accord." Rao raised his broom like a banner. "Then let us send a message they will never forget." Hours later, on a rooftop above the broken city, the shard was mounted onto a makeshift tower of metal and wires. Sparks flew as engineers forced it to connect with human machines. Below, crowds gathered despite the danger, eyes fixed on the glowing heart of alien power, now beating for Earth. Amir stood by the tower, his phone streaming every moment. His voice was calm, though his chest pounded. "Tonight, we answer the galaxy. Tonight, we speak for all of Earth." The shard blazed brighter. The sky trembled with static. Screens across the world lit up at once. And then, as if every star leaned close to listen, the connection opened. The calm alien voice returned, colder than ever. "Earth, you dare use what is not yours. You dare defile the accord." Amir raised his phone and stepped into the light. His face, tired but unbroken, filled every screen. "You came to make us kneel, you came to burn our homes and chain our children, but you miscalculated. We are not a people who kneel. We fight, and now we rise." The shard pulsed, carrying his words into the void. For the first time, humanity spoke not only to Earth, but to the stars. The alien voice tried to cut in. "You are primitive. You cannot win." Rao's voice thundered behind Amir, stronger than the storm in the sky. "Primitive does not mean weak. Primitive means stubborn, and stubborn is what breaks empires." The crowd roared. The woman lifted the shard rifle she had taken from the wreck and fired it into the air. The blue beam lit the night like a second sun. "Let them see we carry." "They're fire now," she shouted. All across the world, other shards, stolen, hidden, recovered, flashed to life. Farmers, soldiers, workers, children, every hand lifted something, from alien shards to human rifles to bare fists. And for one long breath, the entire planet seemed to shine. Then the unexpected happened. The alien fleet above hesitated. Their ships, vast and countless, slowed in their orbit. Their signals, once clear and sharp, faltered. The hub officer's voice came through the radio, trembling with disbelief. "They're pulling back, not retreating fully, but pausing. They're listening." Amir held his breath. "Why?" "The scientist whispered, "because the Accord has never heard defiance like this. They ruled through fear, through silence, and you've broken both. The alien voice returned, weaker now, almost uncertain. Earth, you have chosen war. The Accord does not forget. We will return. Amir lowered his phone slightly. His next words were not shouted, but carried weight stronger than any scream. Then return, we'll be waiting. The shard pulsed one last time, sending the message across the galaxy. The connection snapped. The sky went quiet. For a long moment the rooftop was still. Then cheers erupted, louder than any explosion, rolling across the city and out to the hills. People embraced, shouted, wept. They knew the war was not over, but something greater had been won, the right to be heard. Rao leaned on his broom, breathing heavy but smiling. The galaxy wanted slaves. Instead, it found humans. The woman lowered her rifle, eyes burning with fire. And humans don't kneel. Amir looked at the glowing shard, then at the horizon where alien ships still hovered like storm clouds. Fear lingered in his chest, but it no longer ruled him. He lifted his phone for the last time that night and spoke into the stream. We are scarred, we are tired, but we are not broken. Let the galaxy remember this day. Earth does not kneel. The crowd echoed his words, voices rising like thunder. And high above, the alien fleet stayed silent, forced to listen to a planet that had chosen war instead of chains. The night ended not with surrender, but with defiance burning bright. Humanity had sent its message. The stars would never forget it.